Welcome to Child Care Rockstar Radio. I am your host, Kris Murray. Child care leaders around the globe are breaking through challenges, leading the way in innovation, testing new best practices, and impacting children and families in a much more powerful and positive way than ever before. Each week, join me for interviews with early childhood leaders and experts that will leave you inspired to become the next child care rockstar. Now, let's go. This is Child Care Rockstar Radio, episode 144, featuring Tassia Araujo-Roper. Welcome back to the podcast. I am so excited that you're here. And today's episode, you're going to meet a child care rock star, our current reigning queen, 2022-2023 Child Care Rockstar Winner. Tassia Araujo-Roper is my guest today on the podcast, and I cannot wait for you to meet her and be inspired by everything that she has accomplished in her young career as an early learning business owner. Tassia has been in the industry for less than a decade, and she grew her thriving childcare business during the pandemic straight out of being a home childcare provider, a family childcare business owner. So she went from having, I think she said 5 or 6 children in her home-based school to growing a center of her very own from scratch. And Tassia is going to take you through her journey and everything that she has learned over the last 3 years in the Child Care Success Academy as one of our members and as the reigning Child Care Rockstar. This episode is sponsored in part by ProCare. And ProCare Solutions wants you to know that they have a way for you to partner with them and help you and support you every step of the way in your business. Imagine a day when the hours you'd spend on time-consuming administrative work for your childcare business could instead be spent doing what you love, nurturing the children in your care. 2 out of 3 childcare centered businesses that use childcare management software choose ProCare. That's because as the #1 rated platform in our industry, ProCare helps owners and directors manage every part of their business while saving hours of time, up to 54 hours a month. Are you ready to learn how ProCare can partner with you every step of the way? Request a demo today at procare.solutions/rockstar. That's procare.solutions/rockstar. And this episode is also sponsored in part by Child Care SEER. If you are tired of inconsistent support with your management software and paying too much, not able to plan schedules, menus, and lessons into the future with your current tool, then Child Care SEER is the answer. Visit childcareseer.com to view their demo on your own time or start for free and see this fantastic product for yourself. Lots of new features since you saw SEER at the summit. Upgrade for as little as $30 a month, and hurry because prices are going up soon. So you can start with a free version in this software, which is also something that sets them apart from all the other players in our field. Stop running your center, thinking about today, and let SEER change your tomorrow. And that's at childcareseer, SEER.com. So thank you to our 2 friends for helping sponsor today's show. Here in the podcast studio, here in Carbondale, Colorado, and my business office, one of my 2 offices, we are very busy doing lots of trainings, updating trainings and books and courses, hiring new coaches, and we are expanding our team. So you may have seen that email blast go out recently. And we are just very excited to continue doing the work in a bigger way here in our industry and making an impact on more children and more leaders as we quickly drive towards our mission of 1 million children impacted. And I am currently redoing those stats right now to determine how close are we to the 1 million children mark. And I think we're getting really close, you guys, because last time we did the math, we were in like the 650,000 kid range, and that was a couple of years ago. So maybe we hit it. And I'm excited to share with you those numbers here shortly on the podcast. as well as on our website and throughout our social. And so in today's episode with Miss Tassia, our Child Care Rockstar Winner, she shares what she implemented, what worked quickly to help her get fully enrolled, what helped get her fully staffed, how she went from home to center, how she launched her business during a pandemic, all the things that she lived through and the lessons that she learned that you can learn as shortcuts today from this episode. And you'll see a young leader with an extremely strong mindset. And I can't wait for you to experience and meet her right here. And so the other cool thing about Tassia is that she is scheduled to come and be with me here in about 3 weeks. She's going to join me here in the Carbondale, Colorado offices and fly in and out of Aspen. We're going to have some fun time in Aspen, Snowmass, Carbondale. This is also known as the Roaring Fork Valley of Colorado. And she gets a all expenses paid trip, VIP trip experience to have me coach her for the day. And I'm excited to do that upstairs in our mastermind studio with our big ass whiteboard up there and flip charts. And we're going to dive into her business for the day and then take her out for a super yummy VIP dinner. And so when she's here, I'm really excited to spend the time and really get to know her at a deeper level. And I just wanted to share that that's what goes on when you win Rockstar. And she also got a $5,000 check from me. So I can't wait to have you apply for Rockstar this fall. We have the 3 finalists present their stories on stage, and then the audience votes for the winner. And so Tassia won the hearts of the audience, and just excited to invite you to do that. We are going to be in Orlando this year. So this coming summit, pre-announced, we announced it a few weeks ago that the location and the dates are set. And we hope that you will mark those on your calendar, October 14th to the 16th for the Child Care Success Summit in Orlando, Florida. So we're so excited to work really, really hard between now and then to pull off another amazing world-class event, the largest business conference in the world for early learning leaders. And so that's been my baby, one of the biggest things that I've accomplished in my career. And I can't wait to see you there this fall and hopefully meet you as a Rockstar finalist. All right, let's dive in and meet Tassia. And you guys enjoy the episode. Maybe you want to listen to this with a pen and paper in hand, write down your ahas and your strategies and your ideas, and then implement as quickly as you can with your team. And if you continue to do that as a best practice, you will 10x your success over the long term as an early learning leader, owner, director. And I can't wait to hear from you. And also another reminder as we continue to do these episodes is that we also are looking to hear your voice. We're looking for you to ask a question. And you simply have to go to childcaresuccess.com/podcast. There's a little black button on the right side of the page. You click and it says, leave us a voicemail, and you leave your voice message right there. Super simple and easy. And I will play your voice and your question and give you a little celebritizing here on the podcast when you do that. So I can't wait to hear from you at childcaresuccess.com/podcast. All right. Enjoy the episode. Here we go. Let's meet Tassia, the reigning Child Care Rockstar. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I am thrilled that you're here. I cannot wait for you to meet my friend and Rockstar Winner 2022, Miss Tassia Araujo-Roper. Tassia, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic. I am thrilled that you're here. Where are you right now?
I'm in Charlottesville, Virginia, in my house.
Wonderful. And tell us a little bit about you, your business, some of the stats about your business, enrollment capacity, those kinds of things.
Yeah. So I started as an in-home in 2018. And less than a year later, I moved into a center. And so in September of 2019, I moved to a center. And that was unfortunately just before the pandemic. So that was pretty freaky and scary time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually licensed for 180, but I never plan on using the entire space for children. I have several rooms that are multi-purpose rooms and et cetera. But we have 125 children now, and
Okay.
my goal is 156.
Okay, cool. Did you purchase that building or get into a lease with an existing childcare facility that had closed, or did you start from scratch with some other type of model?
I had an existing childcare center that had been using that space and closed. Honestly, they were kicked out. And the property manager there is amazing. He's incredibly supportive. And so I've been leasing that, and I'm very lucky to have had that relationship. It's been such something I'm super grateful for.
Awesome. Love that. That's kind of a big jump or leap into the unknown for a lot of home or family childcare providers who then go into a center, especially something with that large of a capacity, to go from, what did you have, like 6 kids at home to 180? That's quite the leap.
I started at 4 for 6 months, then 12, and then 12 to the 180.
So you must have big goals and dreams, and you're very brave. So I'll give you that. Because I know a lot of family childcare folks that we work with, and trying to help them launch their first center can be years, it can be decades before they actually get the cojones to jump in. So way to go. Well done. Tell us a little bit more about your journey. Why did you open a home-based preschool? Why preschool in the first place?
Actually, it's my journey in early childhood started when I was actually 5, and that seems weird. I was a child starting in early childhood because my mom did it. And she had a passion for working in early childhood and also traveling, and she did it all over the world. And a lot of times, so mine started with volunteering up until I was old enough to get a job. So I've lived in countries where, like South Korea and Poland and Germany and Italy, where we are always working with children, whether that's orphanages, whether that's 4-H, which is actually in Europe, or YMCA in South America, that kind of thing.
That's cool.
And then military bases as well, or the Peace Corps. And so I came to Virginia working within one of those organizations. But my son had special needs, and unfortunately his needs just couldn't be accommodated. So I always feel like the universe kind of pushed me into this path where I thought I was going to stay in that organization forever. They actually said, no, the gods out there were like, nope, you're doing it your own way. And then the universe pushed me again into a center. I didn't want to do it. I kind of went kicking and screaming for a little bit, but then I was like, all right, it's time to make it happen. And then just buckled down and did it. And so, thankfully my son was able to thrive as soon as he was with me, instead of literally starving like he was in the program that I had him in, and that's working in. And that was the most important piece of why I started, was I knew children everywhere needed more individualized care and needed more accommodations here and there, because none of us are perfectly normal. It doesn't exist.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. When you were in Italy, did you get to spend any time with the Reggio Emilia? I'm just randomly wondering.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I unfortunately no, but they're a huge inspiration of mine. I just, at that point, I wasn't as wise to all the different philosophies, because that was more middle school. So I was still volunteering with children and stuff, but it wasn't necessarily with Reggio.
Yeah. Love that. Very, very cool. So let's talk about, you mentioned your son, so your home and personal life. Are you married? Or tell us a little bit more about what's going on at home. Do you have any pets? What do you enjoy doing for hobbies? Anything you want to share?
Yeah. I do have a big dog. He's a bull mastiff. I have 3 children, a 12, 5, and 2-year-old. I'm currently parenting on my own.
Okay.
And in addition, the center pets, which are also kind of like my pets, because I take them home on the weekends and help take care of them, are several guinea pigs and 2 tanks of snails.
Wow. That's a lot to take care of as a single mom. Look at you.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know how I feel about the snails, Tassia. I'm just saying that's not really my jam. Yeah, I bet they do. Yeah, that's super fun. Love it. Tell us a fun fact. What is something that not a lot of people know about you?
What not a lot of people know about me is that I have like a wide range of hobbies. I won like a photography contest in my youth. I used to do medieval sword fighting. I was a professional ballet dancer in South Korea.
Wow.
And I'm also kind of a techie at heart too. So I like computers and programming.
All right. That's a wide range of interests and talents.
Yes.
That's amazing. Love that. I'm just thinking about, I'm like processing all of that and thinking about all of the different little interest groups and things that you could be in, like, and you could cross the talents, like a belly dancing tech, computer geek or something. There's definitely some cool mixes and hybrids in there. That's awesome. I love that. So I want to talk to you about culture and leadership. And mindset. So as you know, and you've been with us in the Academy now this is your 3rd year of coaching with us in the Academy. And to get to Child Care Rockstar Winner status, which you were this past year in Nashville. So you currently are the crown wearer of Child Care Rockstar. So first of all, congratulations, because that's a huge win, a huge honor. And we are currently getting you scheduled to come and have your VIP day here with me and go out for a nice dinner. So I'm very excited for that to happen in the next few weeks. Yeah. And you got $5,000. So there is that too, right? So that's kind of nice. I'm not going to ask you to share what you spent it on. That's your business. But I would love to know about mindset, because as the basis of our coaching method is mindset. And mindset for your leadership, mindset for yourself as an entrepreneur, business owner. Talk a little bit about how your mindset has changed since you've been with us in the Academy and in coaching.
Yeah. So my mindset had really adjusted in that there were some things I wasn't really comfortable in leading in regards to accountability. Maybe I was really good at connection, but I wasn't really sure on how to keep my team accountable, because maybe I was a little more fearful of confrontation. And I really truly learned that you're disserving even your best teachers if you allow your C&D players to sometimes get away with certain things and et cetera. And so I really felt that it was really important as a leader to also make sure accountability was something that was as important as connecting and loving on, because otherwise the bar for everyone just goes lower and lower.
So that brings to mind my kind of signature platform for leadership, which is I always talk about being a confident yet empathetic leader. And it sounds like you had the empathy in place. You were loving on them. You had the empathy, but you didn't have that confidence to have those hard conversations, to do the accountability, to deal with conflict. Yes. Right. And that all stems from a place of confidence, as well as a mindset of vulnerability, transparency, and knowing that, just that, again, that confidence of showing up as a leader every single day, And so I feel like we helped give you confidence. And I hear that a lot in the Academy. That's one of the things we hear the most. So the process of changing that to gain confidence is sharing wins, and then putting systems, policies, procedures, and accountability measures in place, right? And
Mhm.
so did you, when you started and then you worked with us, did you also start working on some of that structure, like those policies, procedures, onboarding, like things that are going to support you in your systems could also help you with that accountability piece? Did you work on that too? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So being brand new to owning a childcare center and running it, I didn't have a lot of systems in place yet. I mean, I had my employee handbook and then it took freaking months to write. And it was really a stressful time to even put that in place. But then I also found that it was hard to just even make sure the cell phone policy is being implemented
Mm-hmm.
correctly, because when you walk by the classroom, you don't really want to bust in there and be like, I saw your cell phone, put it away, and and so you would just learn how to do, all the systems in place in regards to like disciplinary action. Mine was bare minimum, and I learned how to make that so much more robust and and not just complicated, but also include variety of different consequences. So that there for every action there was a reaction in regards to what does that mean for you, because you could not maintain our standards.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. So talk a little bit about your staffing levels. Are you still a little bit are you still dealing with we've been dealing with a lot of high levels
Yeah.
of turnover and difficulty of keeping or finding staff. Are you still kind of challenged with that at your school, or is it tapering
I
off?
feel
Yeah.
it's tapering off. All of a sudden, we've had a great influx of talent that we're really excited about. That does mean that there may be some shifts within our company where we may
Mm-hmm.
lose some people who have maybe felt a little too comfortable and aren't as dedicated to our missions or core values of, excellence and all of those other things. So they are, and sometimes just in the burnout of being in and doing something where if you don't put a lot into your cup, you're not ready to do childcare if you're not in a good mental place. And so, for whatever reason, there are a few people who might have a different journey. Now that we have more than enough people, we really need to have some hard conversations about, where do you see yourself going from here? But thankfully, we're overstaffed right now, and it's about finding the right place for everybody.
Yeah. So I would be interested to take a poll of all of our members to understand a little bit about this notion, or it's real, this trend that right now in early February 2023, the pendulum is swinging. I just did a podcast about this
Yeah.
with regard to the Groundhog Day of potentially coming back into layoffs. So I think it's fascinating that I think a
Mhm.
lot of companies aren't hiring as much as they were right out of the pandemic. Everyone was hiring, right? And I think a lot of companies have pulled back. And so one of the results is now you have this nice new crop of new hires because you're out there still hiring, but a lot of people are doing layoffs or they're not hiring anymore because of the recession. So it'll be interesting to see, Tassia, how this pendulum continues to
Yeah.
swing across different pockets of the United States too. So thanks for sharing that.
Mhm.
Let's talk about culture building. So, and then since you came into the academy and you opened your center, what have you done? I heard you mention core values.
Yeah.
What have you done to improve your culture overall? Any like one or two or three things that you feel have had the biggest improvement on culture?
So, three big things that I've learned to do is be unapologetic about closing down to work on our professional development or
Mm,
our teachers' mindsets and et cetera. I think some people feel guilty about like, oh, we close for an entire week to reset the new school year. That's really inconvenient for our parents. And I'm just like, no, this is good for our parents because the classroom gets deep cleaned, the teachers get reinvigorated, everything is organized and beautiful to the T, and we're all ready to start with a fresh step forward after we've been able to do activities to bond and et cetera. And so that's one thing. The second is we also close to all of us go to a local early childhood conference, or all those who are qualified. Our staff can't be within their 90-day probationary period or something like that, but um, we attend this conference, and we might all stay in an Airbnb or we stay in the same hotel, And it's really great time to bond, work on ourselves, and just get that passion again for, things in the classroom. So that has been a really big impact on our culture. And then third, we spend a lot of time just working on our program teachers by including mindfulness basket in the break room that has like a little shoulder massager or some mindfulness coloring or some
Cool.
crystals, anything that they can do to take a break and really like put back into themselves. There's a variety of things for them to prompt on, and we try to shower them with love at our staff meetings and et cetera. And that just kind of hopefully always put back into our culture.
That's fantastic. I love those ideas. Now, you guys who are listening are getting a sense of why Tassia won Rockstar, because you had so many things that you presented and showed off during your time on stage. It was phenomenal. So let's shift gears and talk a little bit about, you're welcome, about marketing and enrollment. So one or two, maybe three things, again, that you've done that you feel have made the biggest difference in growing your enrollment.
I think the first is realizing that our parents are our number one marketers. But by far, they are the ones who go into the community and talk to other moms at play dates or et cetera, and say, oh yeah, my child's at Playful Learners Preschool and I love it. So that reputation in their confidence and voting for us for like best daycare in our local awards is the reason why our marketing, it is almost dollars like very minimal, because our parents do more for us. And then the second thing we do is we do open houses where they just, we have a time frame where you can come and meet your teachers and see the classroom. They're not often, they're pretty rare. But they're great opportunities where anybody in the community can come in and just roam around and have conversations and see what the environments look like. And that's really impactful.
You have good show up rate at those open houses?
Yeah. Because we also kind of sometimes might dual purpose that with our families that maybe are transitioning into a new classroom. And so they may want, our current families will also come and visit because that's usually a time that they get to go meet the new teacher and see the classroom as well. And so it keeps the staff busy and not standing there twiddling their thumbs.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. I love that. And also they can bring a friend too. Your parents have a friend that want to learn more. That's super cool. Okay. Anything else?
No, I mean, we
doing social media much?
Yeah, Facebook is our biggest. I do ask our parents, how do you hear about us? And it's almost always either they saw our Facebook or somebody said something on a Facebook group, like, parents who just put out there, hey, I'm looking for a program. I'm new to the area. Can you tell me what you recommend?
Cool. Love that. So yeah, parent word of mouth, parent referrals, a parent referral program. I love that you said your parents are your number one marketers. That's fantastic. And it does keep your costs down for what you need to spend in your marketing if you really power up those referrals and word of mouth. So I love that. Cool. Time management. So another big thing that we teach in the academy is how to get out of overwhelm, how to stop just fighting fires all day so you can work on your business instead of in it and actually have control over your day and be productive and get the most important things done consistently. So talk a little bit about that. What are some time management tricks? How do you rule your day rather than it ruling you?
Yeah, I actually just presented on that in the mastermind because I just did a new sort of strategy for our admin team where we sat down and we wrote down all of the things that we do throughout the day on one giant master list. And it was pretty extensive. It was 8 pages long. And we wrote out the time it takes for each individual task, whether that's days, weeks, months, hours. And we really realized that actually at the time that we did it, that we don't have enough staff up front. And so I kept getting sucked back into the office, and I kept doing things away from the tasks I need to do because there just wasn't enough people to do all the tasks that needed to get done. And so we were able to change that. It was emotionally hard for a minute to say, okay, parents, now I'm going to need you to pay for more admin and ask that of them. But I realized quality is more important to me than affordability at this time. And I will eventually start a nonprofit in order to fulfill that goal too.
Okay.
But in order to have the quality levels we were looking for, and in order to be on top of our game, we needed to have more admin. And so now that we have that, we have broken down those task lists and time blocked our schedule on a weekly basis. And I feel like we're really on fire in regards to productivity and being able to really manage everything that needs to be done, and me knowing that everything's in good hands so that I can work from home or do what I need to do to make sure I'm on top of things.
Yeah, love that. And so with time blocking, are you guys using either Outlook calendar, Google Calendar? Like, can you have access to each other's calendars so you have visibility and clarity to that?
Yeah, do Google for almost everything. And we share Google templates of, from enrollment to one-on-one meetings and all those things. And so Google's our primary source of managing and communicating.
Cool. Love that. Let's talk a little bit about winning Child Care Rockstar. So why did you decide to enter the contest? Give us the backstory.
I was a little nervous too, to be honest. And I actually had to ask my team, do you think I should do this? I feel awkward talking about myself and juicing myself up, but they were like, no, absolutely. And when I made my rough draft video, I couldn't even be in the same room as it playing when I played it for them. I had to step out and then say, okay, now tell me, what should I have done differently? But they were so supportive, and they reminded me of some things that I should say. And they were like, no, you did this and you're amazing. You need to include that, And so I'm so thankful for my team for empowering me, because I don't know, I'm an introvert at heart, and it's scary to put yourself out there. And it was very nerve-wracking to speak on stage. And all of those who did a wonderful job, even though we were trembling backstage.
Yes. Everybody did a great job. And I got a picture of you having your last minute touch-ups done by my stylist back there. She was zhuzhing up your hair. So that's kind of a fun little perk. So I love that. Miss Stephanie, shout out to Miss Stephanie. We love her. So I love that you did that. And I love that you had your team critique you and support you and dive into that. And you did an amazing presentation on stage.
Thank you.
And you ended up winning. So how did it feel to win? And how do you feel now? Do you feel like it added to your confidence, or talk more about that?
It 100% added to my confidence. Cool. And I felt like a superstar at the conference because everybody was just so loving. My story was pretty emotional. And so I just got a million hugs after I'd done presenting. And that was just it was so nice. I'm a hugger, so I welcomed it and loved it. And then I got a million Facebook friends after that. It felt like requests just kept pouring in. So it really just felt like a celebrity, and they'll still say, if they see me, hey, rock star, and so you really do feel like you should have a crown or tiara on whenever you're around these other childcare amazing people, because they just keep making me feel super, super special. And really just the connection that I've had with some of the people post sharing my story, I'm so thankful for. It's honestly been one of the best parts of it is all the people who connected with my journey and the trials and tribulations I went through, and kind of finding like-minded people in that sense. I'm so, so thankful for those friendships.
Awesome. Love it. Thanks for sharing that. Trying to inspire a future crop of rock stars here. And it really is worth doing. And even if you don't win, taking the time to put together a list of all of the ways that your business has transformed, seeing all of your growth, seeing all of the stats, everything you've implemented, this in the whole past year is so powerful, no matter what, happens at the end. So I love that. Great. So the classic question of the podcast, which I don't always ask, but I'm going to ask it now, is how do you define a childcare rock star? Other than looking in the mirror.
Yeah. Other than looking in the mirror and adjusting my crown, I would say a childcare rock star is somebody who has really taken what we do, which is a really sort of service-driven, empathetic kind of career choice, but really managed to also learn and grow in areas that they were weak in. So like being able to master conflict resolution, being able to master those numbers, being able to master taxes, I don't know, whatever it can be. Those things are scary when you first start, and they're scary for those in-home to transition to center people, especially. But when you really learn to have mastered all of those things that you were scared of, you were truly a rock star, because you just feel like, okay, now I can do anything. If we started a center through COVID and had no idea what we're doing and came out the other end stronger, then, what else is there to master? Like, there isn't.
Yes, totally agree. You did so amazing, and I'm so proud of you. That's a great answer. I love that. And I want to ask you, with regard to being in the academy, and I'm so glad that you jumped in that COVID year. A lot of people attended our virtual conference. Simon Sinek was our keynote speaker, and we had really good levels of people joining Academy at that show, the virtual conference, because at that time in our world, people needed it more than ever, during the year of COVID. And so I'm really, really glad you said yes to that. So since being an Academy member over the last 3 years, what do you feel, 2.5 years, what do you feel have been the biggest shifts for you? What do you feel like has been the biggest value for you?
I would say, one, the summits are amazing. Like, anybody who's hesitating on going, like, just go. It's like life-changing. And each year has gotten better and better. Like, Vegas was a blast. Then Nashville was just like top of the world, and the virtual one I thought was good. And you just like surpass yourself since each and every time. And then the community of people that are a part of this academy are just the best, most loving, and most generous with their time and with their expertise. From the coaches down to the peers that we have, they're just absolutely phenomenal. And they help you feel less alone and isolated in this kind of very strange journey that you kind of go on as a childcare business owner. And they also just, besides just giving you a hug and making you feel connected and knowing that there's somebody else going through the exact same thing, they're more than willing to give you tips and tricks of things that we've all learned along the way, just so that we can all be that much more better. And then the accountability, third, is because for me, I need accountability even for myself. And when you're at the top, it's hard to always have that. And so the accountability of the coach being like, did you work on what we said last time? That's something that I get a lot of value from, because I kind of need that to continue to show up for myself. I need somebody. I'm a teacher's pet, so I need the teacher to look me in the eye and say, did you do it? And I'm like, yes, okay, I will.
I feel like that runs true for a lot of our academy members, because y'all are pretty good rule followers. And it's just a matter of staying in front of you with those accountability measures and lovingly holding you to that, because we know that you're going to get success from it. So thanks for sharing that. This is fantastic. So any other final thoughts before we close this episode that you'd like to share?
Oh man, I can't even fathom right now, but we just came off of that mastermind in Florida, and my final thoughts are like, I was scared to go to those mastermind parties. I've never been to one, not even at the summits, because you guys do the most in your costumes and whatever. And I finally went, and I didn't do the most, but I at least did something, and I went, and I'm so thankful for it, because you guys are a blast. First off, everyone had so much fun dancing, and not everybody needed to dress up. It's just about connecting. And that's what we're all here for, is just connecting and enjoying each other. And so, I think for those who are on the fence about ever joining the Academy, 1, it's fun. And then 2, it helps.
Yeah. Thank you. It is fun. That's one of our core values. And,
yes.
I've always been a fun-loving gal. That fun fact about me, Tassia, is I got voted biggest partier in my dorm in freshman year of college. So that trait in me of wanting to throw really good parties has apparently transcended to throwing really good summits, which is the biggest ECE party on the planet. And it's also a conference. Okay, there's learning, there's training. And then these Friday evening DJ dress up, theme parties, which again, not everybody wants to or has to dress up, but they've become like more and more and more and more fun. And thank you for saying that. And really what it's about letting childcare leaders blow off steam, because it's an extremely hard, challenging business to run. Because we have licensing pulling at us, we have parents pulling at us, we have team pulling at us, we have children who need us. And so among all those constituencies, it can be an extremely stressful job, one of the most on the planet, I feel. So letting y'all have a place where you can feel safe and blow off steam and love each other and continue to fill each other's cups is really at the end of the day, that's what it's about. So yeah, I'm very happy to have built something that can bring you energy.
And I'm so glad to be in it.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, this has been fantastic. Congratulations again for being our current Child Care Rockstar winner. Polish your crown and wear it proudly every day. We didn't actually give a crown, but she does have a award that's hopefully sitting.
I do have an award. It's right behind me.
Oh, excellent.
And I got a pin from Ben, but people always theoretically talk about my crown and discuss it as if it's really on my head. So I had to bring it up.
Well, we might have to add tiaras and or crowns for the guys into the mix. So we'll take that under advisement.
Sash? Who knows?
Yeah, a sash. I like it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here on the podcast today and sharing your story. I love it. And I feel blessed to have been part of your journey. Tassia Araujo-Roper here on the podcast. Thanks so much for being here. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Go out and make it a great rest of your day and your week. And we'll talk to everybody soon. Thanks, Tassia.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. I hope you liked this episode of Child Care Rockstar Radio. If you did, please share it with someone you know and help spread the word to your friends in our industry and on social media. Childcare business success is my passion, and I'm honored to be on this journey with you. As a thank you for listening, learn more about how to grow your business and make more income with our brand new free quiz, the What's My Number One Income Killer quiz, exclusively for preschool and childcare owners. Take the quiz today at childcarequiz.com to discover what your number one income killer is and how to solve it. Take care and God bless.